Gaffer, autumn is very much here, football season in full swing. We're coming up to, I think, 10 league games.
I think it's pretty much what we said it was going to be at the start of the season in terms of the new people, obviously the players we lost in the summer, or the amount of players we lost in the summer, and then the amount of players we had to bring in to rebuild and start again almost with a new squad, with the ones that were left and stayed. So we knew it was going to be a tough start. We knew it was going to take time for the boys to get together and to bond and to gel. And I think you can see it probably slowly through the season. How it started was how we kind of predicted it was going to be a tough start for us. A bit of suffering in terms of lads, not too sure on each other and the surroundings they're in. But I think we've come through that and we're growing and we're getting stronger. And I'd like to think that the last few results, in terms of the last 2 or 3 weeks, we're starting to build that little bit of momentum, that bit of cohesion, like we said, that togetherness, and it's starting to come together. It's
4 wins in all competitions in a row at home, and I guess that's the foundation for the season, right?
100%. Yeah, this is what, again, we're installing into our new boys how passionate and how proud we are to have a facility and a stadium and the fans we have within that, and how we must make that our fortress and make that the hardest place to come in the league, to come and get something. And we said that if someone comes here and takes something off us, that it has to be that they've fought tooth and nail together, and I think, we're starting to get there with that, and that togetherness and that mindset, that mentality of being so hard to beat at home, is starting to kick in.
And looking at the league results as well, obviously we lost the first 3, but it's 1 defeat in the last 6 league games, and that includes a late draw at Wycombe, which could have been a win, or perhaps should have been a win on another day. So that bears that out as well from what you were saying there, that the results are starting to come through.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't come together straight away. Very, very rarely it does, right from the start. So we're pleased with in the direction it's going, but we're not there yet. We're nowhere near there yet, and we know that, and we keep on saying that. We're nowhere near the finished article. We've got a long way to go in terms of our team, and the boys getting up to full fitness is really important for us. And I think it's growing every week. And the more minutes some of these lads play that haven't had pre-seasons or missed big chunks of pre-seasons in the start of the season through niggles and injuries, will come back and will be a real strength for us come, obviously, November, December, January time when we start to really kick in and get going. We're really pleased at how the boys have come in. Obviously, signing lads later on in the window puts that back a little bit, but they're working so hard to get to the levels that we need to be at, and we're hoping it comes soon.
I mean, we've heard similar answers, and we can only really talk about what's going on, but there's been a lot of noise about the slow starts of the season as well. It seems like you've been expecting this and the growth, and this is the plan. How difficult is it to stick to that plan with the noise that goes on outside?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Obviously, it is. You want things to be yesterday, but you look at any team with massive changes in the structure of or any club with a massive structure changes in terms of the team. And everything else that goes around it does take time. It comes full circle. So the bigger the wheel, the bigger the turn. And we see ourselves as one of them big teams at this level. And we need to make sure that we stick to the plan. I always say we have to push as much as we can, but don't shove. Because if we do, then we end up losing players early or before we should be even getting them going. So for us, it is frustrating, and I've got to get obviously told every day to make sure we stay to the plan and to the structure, and it's for the benefit of the club in the long run. So off the back of that, we had this a couple of years ago where we had a slow start to the season due to all the changes, and then you come full circle the year after. We nearly get into the playoffs under the restraints we were in. So hopefully come that time again now this season and next, we're looking at that we're in a really strong position to go and be pushing, and like I said, we'll get going, and we are starting to get going, and the boys know it, they can feel it, and it comes no more than Saturday. It's as simple as that. It's a tough game. Mansfield are a tough side, but some really good players that they've acquired in the summer to add to the physical side of the game they had before. So we just got to put full focus on that and take every game as it comes, and the ones that are coming back to fitness, it's good to see.
Mental strength, where do you get it from? Because stick to the plan with all the noise. It seems to me an integral key of being a manager is that mental strength.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've always had it from a kid, you know, wanting to play, wanting to win. You know, being on a training field, whether it was hurling or Gaelic football or our football. You know, I always knew that you had to put the work in to get the results out and to stay patient with it and to make sure that, like, that's the process. And I've kind of gone through that as a player as well, as a professional player, and, you know, obviously learning off really good managers. You talk about people that have been in the game like Brian McDermott and you know, Mick McCarthy, Brendan Rodgers, you know, the people that I've been so lucky to work with in terms of how they do things and how they stay patient and structured and what they believe in. I've been through this before in new teams. You know, I've been through it here in a new team. And it doesn't change. You just got to make sure that you stay true to yourself and the boys understand what we're doing and knowing that we're good at what we do and believing in what we do and the players we have to do it. It's only a matter of time before it comes good, and I think it is starting to get there. You know, like we say, it's not going to be linear, it's not going to be straight up. We will have bad days. We will have days where we won't play well but get something out of the game. We will have days where we play well and lose. But as long as we're on that right trajectory of, you know, our mindset and mentality is the next game to win the next game and to have the belief that we're going to win the next game, that's the big thing.
Talk to me about the injuries. Mansfield have had injuries as well. Every team gets injuries. I guess they come to test us. How are we looking at on the injury front?
Give me a name. We have a few. Obviously, we picked up a few last week.
Paudy's the name the fans would love to
see. Listen, he's doing great. He's got it back on the grass. We all want to see Paudy on the grass. We all want to see him in the team. He's such a, without even playing for us, we know he's a key figure for us and a key player. He's gone through the last couple of days of contact in training. And we're going to get him through this week, obviously, with contact training and really push him through the ranks in terms of that. But we have to remind that he hasn't played in 2 months. 1 full week of training is a little bit too, I think it's too soon for him. And the physios are on me about that. I'm wanting obviously to put him in and get him involved in the squad and stuff and get him involved in the team. But you know, I think a week of training this week will benefit him really well, and then we look at next week and see where we go with it.
Derek Williams? Yeah,
Dell's back on the grass. He's back running, which is great. Obviously, we said it was going to be maybe 4 to 6 weeks, but he looks like he's moving a little bit quicker than that. So hopefully it's sooner than later.
Andre Garcia and Mama Kamara as well.
Yeah, Mamadi's come back and his ankle looks really well. You know, we had it in our heads the middle to late October, but we'll see how that goes. Well, it was more late October, sorry, but hopefully that we get him back on the grass, get him back into football in the next week or so.
Let's look at Mansfield then. The mid-table, they've been inconsistent. They've got injuries. I guess that's tough to plan for. Yeah,
I think they've had a decent start, to be fair. You know, let's be honest. They've been hit with a couple of injuries here and there, but I'm expecting most of them to be back this weekend. They're a good side. They're a threat. They mix the game really well. In terms of how they play, the 2-4s are really good for them. They've got plenty of pace and experience on the wings. They've got exciting front players. So yeah, we've got to be our best behaviour, our best form. But again, we're at home. You know, we need to take it to them. We need to make sure we start fast and put our front foot forward and be as aggressive as we possibly can be to win the game.
And with the table now taking shape, Reading in 19th, which fans see, and obviously they don't want to see 19th, they want to see higher, but a couple of results strung together and the way the table is now, that can change very quickly.
100%. You know, I just keep on looking up and looking to the next one. It's really important that we focus on what's above us and we can catch them, you know, as week by week. And like you said, there's 9 points in a week of football. It's a lot. So, listen, we knew it was going to be a tough start. We knew it was going to take a while to get us going, get us together, get the momentum going. But now we're starting to push through that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we keep going the right direction and move up the table.
Well, we'll see you there.
Cheers.